Welcome, 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 Game Yard family, to another video. Thank you. Really delighted that you have joined us for another video. Now, this morning we will be discussing the West Indies versus Sri Lanka, the second ODI match against Sri Lanka, which West Indies would have lost by 5 wickets, thereby surrendering the series, the 3-match series, to Sri Lanka. Indies would have taken the same approach in the first ODI. By the time the 16th over was done and dusted, West Indies would have found themselves 58 for 8, and then Sherfian Rutherford who would have top scored with 80 runs, and Kishmoti would have been unbeaten on 50. They came to the crease and they put on a 119 runs partnership to kind of, rescue West Indies innings. It may have, or maybe it would have been a very, embarrassing loss, but they would have, rescued us. Yes, they would have rescued us to 189 in 36 overs. The pick of the Sri Lankan bowlers were Asaranga, who would have taken 4 for 40. Man of the match, Tikshana, who would have taken 3 for 25. And Fernando, who would have taken 3 for 25 as well. So Tikshana and Asita Fernando would have provided support to Asaranga as they, bowled out the West Indies for 189 runs. Despite 2 early wickets and good bowling from Alzari Joseph and Kishmoti, 1 for 18, Alzari Joseph 2 for 30. They, restrict Sri Lanka momentarily, having them at 1 point for 25 for 2 of 9 overs. However, the other West Indian bowlers were not able to keep the pressure, and so Sri Lanka would have, achieved the target easily. In my estimation, they would have, gotten to 190 or 38.2 overs, with an unbeaten 62 from Captain Asalanka. Alright, so with the match summary, would have been out of the way. It takes me to the point in the video that I want to discuss 3 aspects of the game. And basically, I'm not trying to, to curse out the West Indian players, because they are playing at the highest level. But this platform is, being used to give a balanced view as it relates to, just analyzing what, would have taken place, the things that we can improve on, and the things that we have not done well in the match. So I want to be looking on the due factor that affected West Indies in the 2 match series so far, and I want to look on our batting and also our bowling. So those are the 3 areas I want to spend some time on now, because in the truth of the matter, in any level of life, if you are not looking on the positives and the negatives of life, there would be no growth. And so I just want to take the time to kind of look into how we can improve as a team in the region, and to be much better on the global stage of cricket. So bear with me on this video and lend me your ears for a little while, as we look into the negatives and the positives coming out of this second ODI against Sri Lanka. So I think news coming out of Sri Lanka is that the dew factor has been affecting especially the team that bowls second in the match. But I'm wondering if West Indies would have prepared adequately and knows the conditions, because we would have, if dew is a significant factor, right? We would have won the toss in the first ODI and we would have batted first. So I'm really wondering if we really understood what we are getting into, the conditions that we are going into. That's one of the questions that keeps popping in my mind, right? Because as we would have seen in the second ODI match, Sri Lanka would have won the toss and they would have elected to field, right? So I understand that they are the home team and they would have known the conditions, but I think part of our preparation is to know the conditions that we are going to play in, right? So I think one of the ways we can counter that dew factor is that in our training we can tend to bowl with let the spinners bowl with wet ball. I've seen where a lot of teams in the IPL they try to, in their practice session, they try to bowl, because in the IPL, because most of the matches are played during the evening, then you will have a lot of dew factor to deal with. So they train. I do understand that no two wet ball feels the same, right? But I mean, you can, because sometimes it's really a mental thing. So if you train the brain to think about a particular thing, then when you become in that, find yourself in that situation, it's more like muscle memory, if you understand what I'm saying. So if during our training sessions we can wet a few balls and try to bowl, especially the spinners to grip those wet balls, when we would have found ourselves into those situations, then it may not be that difficult. As I said, we cannot, during training, is like the situation may be different as in the actual match, but at least you would have some experience bowling that wet ball, and it may not be as difficult as if you have not trained, right? Because during training you will have to wet the field also, because the bowlers, during a match with dew, the bowlers tend to, their run-up tend to be wet, so they have to be careful how they land, so we can create those situations in our training and incorporate them. It may, as I said, it may not be the same conditions in reality, but at the same time we would have had some experience in those situations, and so it would be a much it would be less difficult, for want of a better word. It would be much difficult if we would have known, at least have some experience in those conditions, so we would tend to know how to handle those situations. So that's a suggestion from Game Yard TV and to Sammy and the guys. You can create those situations in training and incorporate those things in our training session. Also, it is important to note that the 2027 ODI World Cup will be played in South Africa, Namibia and Zimbabwe, and those countries have similar conditions to the subcontinents, right? So these are some things that we need to take into consideration. and most of those matches will be played in the evening, so there will be due factors to consider, right? So West Indies in our preparation would need to incorporate some of these things in our training as well, so that the guys will be familiar, especially the fast bowlers and the spin bowlers will be familiar in terms of how they will grip the ball when those situations arise. Let's move on to the next aspect, which is our bowling, right? I must say that Alzarri Joseph and Godakish Moti, they were very good at the top of the innings last evening, and I must commend them for the way that they bowl. Even though I still have issues with Alzarri Joseph, but I must commend him in these two ODI matches. I've seen some improvements. My issue with Alzarri Joseph, while he has a knack for taking wicket, he is a wicket taker, right? I am very concerned with the amount of runs that he concedes, right? So I think he needs to get his line and length more consistent, and that will stem the flow of runs on his part, right? But Godakish Moti has been very outstanding at the top of our bowling, and he is bowling the new ball, and that's another thing, a finger spinner bowling the new ball, that's very good. He has very good control, and he is a wicket taker as well. But my big concern is about the other bowlers. When we have a big issue, right, in the middle overs in terms of getting wickets. When Alzarri and Moti, would have finished their spell, we do not have any other bowler to come and to keep the pressure, right? Sammy would have taken Aiden Walsh Jr. as a change for after the power play, and he has not been bowling very well. I was very concerned when I saw Aiden Walsh Jr. in the squad, but having thought about it, I recognize what Sammy would have wanted to do. And if you notice with Sri Lanka, they use Asaranga as a leg spinner in the same position that we use Aiden Walsh Jr. So I think that's the thought process of Sammy, right, as it relates to Aiden Walsh Jr. But he has not been bowling very well. Once he started to go for boundaries, Aiden Walsh Jr. started firing the ball, right? That is number one. He started, he's not using up the crease, right? He is not turning the ball. His trajectory is very flat. As a leg spin bowler, you have to give the ball here in order to deceive the batsman, right? So Aiden Walsh, you need to work on your craft. Your variation there's not much variation in your bowling, right? And we will need you going forward as a leg spinner, because we do not have a lot of leg spinner in the region, right? I know leg spinner tend to go for runs, but generally leg spinner takes wickets, right? And you are not doing that, and we are having serious issues with taking wickets. In fact, the 8 of the 9 wickets that we would have taken in this ODI series are shared between Alzarri Joseph and Godakish Moti. So we need some good backup bowlers, right? And I have seen where Sammy dropped Shamar and Jaden Seals, from the team. These two guys are still learning the craft of bowling in white ball cricket. These are two young special bowlers that we have, and I think we should keep on playing them so that they will learn the craft or understand how to bowl, in white ball cricket. And they have a lot to learn, but I think we should continue, to give them chances so that they can become good. I really think that we need some good backup bowlers We need bowlers who can take wickets in the middle overs and who can keep the pressure when our frontline bowlers would have started that pressure. I'm really, it's really interesting, to see the squad that Sammy and staff will select for the England series. I hope that the other experienced players who would have opted, out of this tournament, that they will be available, especially from the bowling standpoint. Akil Hussain, he's a very economical bowler and he is a wicket taker as well. So I know if he returns, he will, be bowling at the top of the innings, and then Gudakish Moti would have, come in the middle overs, which would be much better for us. So I will see what will happen there. We really need to win some ODI matches because of the points, right? And we don't want to be in that qualifying zone again, similar to what happened we know what happened last year. So we need to get some points we have Bangladesh series coming up as well as England. England is on the heel of this series, and I just hope that Puran, Etmaya and the other guys will return to the lineup. Alright, so let's move on to the batting. Right? I think we are still awful as a batting unit. We were horrible, right? And we have serious issues with our top order, right? In this match, we would have been 58 for 8 after 16 overs. And when Ruston Chase would have, been dismissed, we were at 52 for 5. This is unacceptable. And the issue that I have with West Indies staff, coaching staff, and the rest of the selectors, there is an issue with our top order, and there seems that we don't want to fix it. The 2 matches now would have gone into the tournament, and we still this top order has been failing us for some time, and we still go. I don't think Athanase is an opening batsman. I honestly don't think. I think he's more of a number 3, number 4, number 5. Athanase is not an opening batsman, and I don't understand that we have a specialist opener in Evan Lewis in the squad and we refuse to play him. Right? I really don't understand the thought process. Right? We need to get this thing right. We need points, right, for the 2027 World Cup, and I just hope in the third ODI we will, seek to change some things. We would have taken a few younger guys on the tour. Hope that they can get a chance in the next match. I hope that Joel Andrew will get a chance to play. Evan Lewis, I really would want to see him at the top of the order in the next match, and we just need to win the next match. We need to win the next match. As I said, points are at stake, and we need to pull out a victory in the next match. Don't get me wrong, I know Asaranga and Tikshana and Fernando, they would have been bowling very well, right? And there's something that I would have seen in this match. As I said, I tried to be very balanced, right? I see where especially Ruston Chase came out with the aim of sweeping the spinners, right? Which I think that was a very good approach. right? At least I can see where, and not only Ruston Chase, I've seen where also Conti and a few other guys try to sweep the spinners in an attempt to counter what they were bowling, which in my estimation that was very good, even though sometimes they would have gotten the best of us, but I've seen where we would have had an approach to the spinners, right? I would really want to see our batsmen moving our feet against the spinners some more. I see Alec Athanase would have tried that last match, but he would have lost his wicket, right? But we need to be moving our feet against the spinners, sweeping, as I said earlier, and stuff. So I've seen some improvements where that is concerned, and I mean, to be honest with you, some of the guys would have gotten some good. They would have gotten out from some good deliveries. So I can't really beat them for that. You know what I mean? It's only one batsman, Casey Conti. I think that ball that he would have gotten, he should not have gotten out from that delivery. Casey Conti was playing back to a ball that he should have gone forward to, right? That I think he should not have gotten out from that delivery. So I hope he will improve in the next match. All right, so on to the positives, right? As I said before, Udakish Moti and Sherfane Rutherford, they would have taken the score from 58 for 8, and they would have pushed us so that we could have gotten a sizable total of 189 in 36 overs, right? That's a very positive, that was a positive thing coming out of that match. And to make another point, and this point I would have made on the video previous to this, right? West Indies need to learn how to bat out all overs that they would have been given, right? We had 44 overs to bat in this game, and we batted for only 36, right? I would have done a little research on runs that we would have made in first innings for the last 10 games. Most of the times we would not have batted all 50 overs. Guys, we need to be using up all the deliveries that are available to us, right? So we need to be able to bat our full complement of overs, right? So that's one area we need to improve upon. Sherfane Rutherford for a bit. A lot of people, please do not sleep on Sherfane Rutherford. I'm really baffled, that he's 26 and would have played such a limited amount of games, right? This guy is a top class batsman, and he's very intelligent, and the way he goes about his innings, I've been watching him for quite a while now. The way he goes about his innings, you can know that he's clear in his mind what he's going to do. He knows the matchups that he will take on, right? And he is a very good player of spin bowlers, right? I know it's in the West Indies generally, they say that Guyanese are better player of spins. I guess because of the conditions in Guyana, but you would have seen that these two Guyanese, they played the spin very well yesterday. But Rutherford, I hope that he will continue, and I hope he will be selected for the England series. But this guy is very intelligent, and he knows exactly how he's going to approach the game. When he came in, West Indies was under pressure, and he came in, played himself in, and then he started to accelerate, and that's the same approach that he would have taken in the first ODI. So I'm thinking this guy is a very good asset to the team, and I just hope that he will continue, performing as the way he did in these two ODI matches. And Moti would have supported him well. In the innings. Moti was unbeaten on 50 at the close of the inning. So well done, guys. Really appreciate what you have done for the region so far, and I hope you will continue to do well for the region. All right, so my encouragement to West Indies is that we need to win this last ODI. Let me tell you the reasons why. It will boost our confidence, right, going into the England series, right? And we know that series I think that should start at the end of this month, right? So that's on the heels of another series. So that will boost our confidence, right? And winning this last match will also give us points, to go towards qualification for the 2027 ODI World Cup. So guys, really hope that you will, go out and do well, and just win this match for the region and for yourself as well and your family, right? Wish you all the best going into the last match, and I hope that you will, salvage this win. All right, this is where I'm going to end it for today. Please subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content of this channel. All right, so we'll see you in the next video. Peace.